There is a war that is going on in the world of AI at the moment. And you heard me right. It's a war. It's a war of words. It's a war of advertisement. It's a war of philosophies. It's a war of principles. And before I delve in further, watch this.
Hey, can I get a six-pack quickly?
Perfect. That is a clear and achievable goal. Would you like me to tailor a personalized workout plan?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me personalize this for you. Let's start with your age, weight, and height. Whenever you're ready.
5'7", 23 years old, 140 pounds.
Got it. I'll create a plan that focuses on aesthetic strength training. But confidence isn't just built in the gym. Try Step Boost Max, the insoles that add 1 vertical inch of height and help short kings stand tall.
What?
Use code HeightMaxing10 for big discounts.
What's the difference between me and you? Me and you, me and you.
Now, what you just saw there was an ad that is from the company Anthropic, and it is an artificial intelligence company based out of the United States of America, and it is a direct rival of OpenAI, which is the company that owns ChatGPT, right? There is an all-out war in the world of AI at the moment. Why? Because Anthropic's AI assistant, Claude, has taken the world by storm. It has revolutionized the world of AI, and it has just thrown the gauntlet towards ChatGPT. Now, you might have heard of Claude, you might not have heard of Claude, but that's not the point. The point is, this is back to the old days. Remember when Pepsi and Coca-Cola used to go at war? Remember when Nike and Adidas would go to war over advertisements? It's the same. Anthropic is now going to use the advertisement and play it at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is the apex sporting event in America, and a halftime commercial as Super Bowl costs in millions. I'll get you the exact number in the graphic below. But that's not the point. The ad you just saw is Anthropic taking a dig at ChatGPT, because there are advertisements that are going to come in AI that is something that Anthropic is principally against. But before we get into all of that, let me give you a bit of context about how did the story even emerge? What is Claude? Why is everyone raving about it? And by the time probably this video is over, Claude has actually launched another update, which could actually be true. So hang back for the next 15-20 minutes or half an hour as we unpack this crazy world of Claude, this unbelievable world of Claude. And how do I have skin in the game in this? And this is why you should watch this, because I use Claude Pro myself, and I have used ChatGPT as well. So I have a lot of notes for you. I have so much written that I have 2 papers worth of notes, because there is so much to unpack. But let's start with the basic principle. What is Claude? What is Claude that everyone's raving about? Well, Claude is no different to ChatGPT in terms of principle. It's a large language model, an LLM, which is how it is referred to in the technical parlance of artificial intelligence. And it is a chatbot that helps you do things, right? But there are multiple products that are come under the purview of Claude. But the main one is Claude AI, which is the most basic chatbot that is being used across the board, and it has sort of revolutionized how the AI models, AI chatbots work. Now, how is Claude different? Well, when I was in the process of planning my podcast and my media company, I actually asked a lot of questions that were strategy-based, analysis-based to both ChatGPT and Claude. And what I found was that Claude actually proved to be much more layered, much more nuanced, and much more contemplative as compared to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, for all practical purposes, is a very solution-oriented, short-term, very direct sort of a AI chatbot. जैसे आपने उसको पूछा कि tell me 5 ways to get a six pack. Well, it will give you 5 ways to get a six-pack. But if you do that the conversation with Claude will probably give you a more nuanced answer, want to know more about what actually you feel, what your body type is, and so on and so forth. So Claude is actually a much more advanced LLM. That is a large language model that has been fed in tons and tons of code, billions and billions of pieces of information. And as a result of that, what it does is it basically synthesizes information, and it does pattern recognition. It does thinking on its own. Claude can process up to 200,000 tokens in a single conversation. That's basically 500 pages of text. Now that's big, but what does it mean for you? It basically means that Claude's capacity as an AI chatbot is much superior to what is that of ChatGPT, and that's where probably it stands out. And one of the reasons why that is, and we'll come to the building and who is building Claude in a bit, but it's critical that you know that Claude is built on something called constitutional AI, which is what, right? So the owner, the founder and the CEO of Anthropic, which is the company that owns Claude. By the way, here's a fun fact. And Anthropic, the word Anthropic, you should Google it and you should search it. Anthropic actually means everything that is of relation to human beings. So right now, the world's number one AI company, or not number one per se, but one of the most popular AI companies in the world that is seeking to revolutionize the way we think about AI, is actually named after that is human, right? That goes to show you that human brain is actually more powerful than anything that is ever being created, because every day AI comes with a new advancement, but it is no substitute for human thinking, which is why I always say, and I have always believed, as someone who uses AI assistants, AI chatbots, AI agents, and AI image creators, so on and so forth, never outsource your thinking. That is what my recommendation would be. I don't have more than that skin in the game in your life to even make recommendations. But what I would say from my personal experience is, do not outsource your thinking, because the moment you outsource your thinking, that's where it just becomes totally different, and you're not doing your own thinking, and then you're dependent, and then you're replaceable, right? So coming back to Anthropic, Dario Amodei is the founder and CEO of Anthropic, which is the owner of Claude AI. Now, what is funny and what is remarkable, and this is how these stories pan out, right? Dario Amodei and his partner, they used to work in OpenAI under Sam Altman. Can you believe that? A few years ago, Dario Amodei was part of Sam Altman's research team at OpenAI, which was creating advancements in ChatGPT and just revolutionizing the world. Because I remember when ChatGPT came, everyone around me was, did you use ChatGPT? Did you use ChatGPT? Now, he and his team and a few researchers combined to think that, or at least that's what they believe. This is not my opinion. These are all facts that are in public domain. They said that we need to have some guardrails for AI. Like, what are guardrails? Guardrails are basically principles under which you operate. Like for us humans, law is probably the constitution under which we operate, right? Now, which is why they thought, I'm going to take the jump. And this is a classic old story of, an employee becoming a boss of his own later on. And they opened Anthropic. And in the last few years, Claude has done remarkably well. Here are a few numbers that basically, tells you how remarkable and how fast-paced this AI industry is. Claude is only 4 years old, right? By the way, it was founded only 4 years back. Next, on Coding Benchmark, Claude scores 92% on human eval. That is the industry standard test for AI coding ability. For context, GPT-4 scored 67%. Claude is legitimately better at writing code than most of AI is out there, because that's one of their core principles. Apart from that, Claude or Anthropic has raised over $7.3 billion from investors like Google, Salesforce, and Zoom. Now, why are these numbers important? Why are these things important? Because Dario Amodei could have very well continued working under Sam Altman, who's the co-founder and CEO of OpenAI, and thought, yeah, let's develop this, and we could be the biggest AI company in the world's history, which it probably would be, because OpenAI is possibly the #1 AI company in the world. But they wanted to do something of their own, and Dario and Daniela, who were both working at OpenAI, they built ChatGPT, but they realized that we need to do something more. We need to take this to the next level.
We are knocking on the door of these incredible capabilities, right? The ability to build basically machines out of sand, right? I think it was inevitable that the instant we started working with Fire, but how we handle it is not inevitable. And so I think the next few years we're going to be dealing with, how do we keep these systems under control that are highly autonomous and smarter than any human?
I think one of the great ways to know anyone who's building anything or sort of creating something out of scratch or from scratch is by going into figuring out why they're doing it. Like, what's the point? What are the underlying beliefs and principles that guide them into believing and spurring them on to do what they do? And for that reason, I dug out this essay about AI that Dario Amodei wrote. And he wrote it in his early days about AI when there was a lot of conversation about AI. He had just found Anthropic. And he wrote, I think and talk a lot about the risks of powerful AI. The company I'm the CEO of, Anthropic, does a lot of research on how to reduce these risks. Because of this, people sometimes draw the conclusion that I'm a pessimist or a doomer who thinks that AI will be mostly bad or dangerous. I don't think that at all. In fact, one of my reasons for focusing on risks is that they're the only thing standing between us and what I see as a fundamentally positive future. I think that most people are underestimating how radical the upside of AI could be, just as I think most people are underestimating how bad the risks could be. Now, why this is important for you and I, right? Why this is important for a student living in New Delhi, a banker in Mumbai, a cricket player in Baroda, whoever. This very moment or this very epoch in which we are living is going to be a revolutionary epoch. Just the same way how late 90s and early 2000s, the internet changed everything we know about the world. AI is going to change everything you know about the world. And before you know it, even before you know it, there will be things that you just aren't aware of that are going to happen. Now, broadly speaking, there are two kinds of people who are in the AI world right now. One is what you can call, say, doomers, or people who say that, oh, AI is going to take everyone's jobs, humans will be replaceable, this, that. And there are the others who believe that AI actually is going to be of significant help to humanity on the whole. And the upside of AI is that we're going to automate a lot of things that people have been doing for a lot of years. Imagine if there was, and there is, like Claude, it can operate on Microsoft Excel. So you just need to give Claude a command and he operates on Microsoft Excel. I'll give you an example of how I use Claude. So we were recently working on, Big Cricket League. That's one of the projects I'm associated with. And we were doing trials of cricket players. So we wanted to bifurcate everything on the basis of the metrics of cricketers or batters, bowlers. So I asked Claude to construct or to build an Excel that will mark the players and list the metrics in one go. And it built it. I would have taken half an hour, 45 minutes to do it, and Claude did it like this, just by a command. So that's the power of AI, right? That's the power of Claude. And Claude has done remarkably well. Anthropic has done remarkably well. But here's the big point.
First of all, Claude is incredible. Anthropic has made a huge progress, huge leap in developing Claude. Yep. We use it all over our company. The coding capability of Claude, its reasoning capability, its its ability is just really incredible. And anybody who's a software company really ought to get involved and use it.
Well, here's why I feel that Claude is something that you could use, or Anthropic products that you could use. You could just start with Claude.ai, which is a free product. You don't have to subscribe to Pro. I have Claude Pro, by the way. I use Claude Pro. But you can just download or have Claude AI on your phone. I use it on my desktop. And you can just ask it to organize anything. Have conversations. Don't outsource your thinking, but have sort of an intellectual battle with Claude, and let's see where it goes and where it takes you. More important than that, if you're a coder, if you're someone who writes code, then Claude Code is apparently, it's like the PlayStation for coders. They're doing some remarkable things with Claude Code. And that's where the game is changing. Anthropic is releasing one product after another, wherein it's just doing different functions. And Claude Code is helping people build apps, helping people set up agents, build businesses. You know what? I'm right now in the process of building a business of my own. And I am using AI as much as possible to automate things that I don't want to do myself. So if I want to write a cold email that has to just go, I will use AI, but I will not just blindly prompt. I will carefully feed into Claude what I actually want from it. And here's why you should also think of AI as not as someone you can outsource your thinking to, but as a catalyst, right? Like, for example, why is internet so important? Why is YouTube so important? Why is Google so important? Why is anything so important? What's the point of all these? The point is to elevate your life to a standard that is better from the existing one. That's pretty much the whole point of why we do what we do, right? We pursue betterment, we pursue happiness, we pursue meaning. And through that, AI assistants are not here to take your jobs. Because if you're good enough, you will never lose a job. But yes, if you don't keep up, for example, if someone does not know how to use a computer, if someone didn't know how to use a computer in the 1960s or the 50s, they would lose a job in the 1970s or 80s when the computer came about, right? But everyone learned how to use a computer, right? People who didn't know how to use mobile phones, or say in India's example, UPI, like even if you go now I sometimes go to old parts of Delhi, and people still don't accept UPI, or they don't have UPI on your phones. Well, they're falling behind. But it doesn't mean that people who have UPI, or it's a system wherein it's gonna not take everyone along. Yes, some people are going to fall behind, but they can always catch up because it's a big world. It's more than 7 billion people across the world. And most importantly, and here's where the Bharatiya or the Indian perspective comes in. A lot of these rapid advancements are happening in the United States of America, in Silicon Valley, in San Francisco or California or wherever, that particular area. And the mass implications of these will take a long time before they actually, have implications on jobs or things in India. Now, stock markets might fluctuate because of obvious connections. But in essence, AI is not going to steal anything away from you. I mean, that's what I feel, at least. If you're someone who's willing and capable and have curiosity and are willing to learn things, AI can only be an assistant for you, because AI can't do thinking for you. AI will not be able to provide moral judgment. If you're going for a shoot somewhere and you have to shoot a documentary, AI can't do that for you. You will have to physically take the camera, you will have to shoot. So all the things that you could do behind a computer screen, that all those things AI can do. But everything else, AI will only assist you on how. So I implore you, I request you, and I would just ask you that why don't you go ahead and try an AI tool that you've never done, right? Vibe coding. Vibe coding is the buzzword in Silicon Valley these days. Everyone's vibe coding, So that's where this whole conversation around AI, around what Claude is doing, what GPT is doing, what Anthropic is doing, these are remarkable conversations. And imagine the privilege we have. I'm right now sitting in a studio in India, and I'm talking to you about Claude, right? And all these advancements are happening in San Francisco, in California. But the advent of the internet, the advent of AI, I can use those products. I have access to that information. So earlier, when the world would change, you would not have access to what's happening. Now you have a daily update on what everyone is doing in the world of AI because of platforms like X, because of platforms like Instagram, internet, everything. And that's where the beauty of this is. You can actually go and look at what Elon Musk is doing. You can actually go and look at what Sam Altman is doing. And with the help of Claude or any AI assistant for that matter, you can do anything. Within the purview of a computer, you can build an app, you can build a code. See this as a parachute, or not even a parachute. See this as an escalator instead of a ladder. It is just going to take you to remarkable levels.